Alright, for this screencast, I'm going to be focusing on Chapter 9 of Peregoy and Boyle. In Chapter 9, we are looking at using graphic, syntactic, and semantic cues for reading. And so in order to do this, we're utilizing like their background knowledge of language and text structure and their ability to decode, and of course their understanding of vocabulary. Within this, there's like the cognitive like strategies, like being able to recognize and repair like your errors. And so rereading like the text is very beneficial for that in order to go back and get like a better understanding of what they're reading and how to go through with that. And the big purpose of like promoting literacy and the strategies for approaching that is through guided reading, which is definitely like beneficial for the beginning. And the goal is to provide them guidance and lead them to being able to be stronger, independent readers. And so within the guided readings, we do introductions by inviting our students to make predictions of what they believe is going to happen in the text. You can allow students to read silently or out loud. And of course, opening the class for discussions is very helpful to help them bounce off ideas and develop like their own thoughts as they try to gain like further understanding. Within like the literature study, we have like response groups, and with that, you normally want to keep it kind of small, like around 3 to 6 students. I would say 6 is a little too much. I think like in 3 to 4 is like a good group where they don't get too distracted and they're able to focus. And this just helps like students prepare over time, and it also provides like scaffolding. The teacher can provide like response sheets, which gives them further focus in their discussions to help them prevent for them from like digressing from the topic. And for English learners, it also helps them become more familiar with how to discuss literature. And so grouping them with like empathetic partner or someone that is like people that are proficient but then also are able to like, understand and communicate with them is very beneficial for English learners. And of course, the goal is again to become strong, independent readers. And so, giving them time to read independently, like in class, is very helpful. It also is good so that they can ask questions with the teacher, and giving them time to like reflect on their reading and just delve deeper into it. And so strategies for comprehension is of course like what I mentioned earlier is like buddy reading. Then we have literature logs and story maps where they're able to put the reading down to writing, which of course writing is a very powerful tool to help reflect on their reading. And also opportunities to discuss this with other students or even with like the teacher as well. And so there are also directed listening and reading thinking activities. And so through listening, they make predictions about as the story is like presented and read to the students. And then through reading, like the students will read the text and make predictions themselves. And as for assessments, there's like informal assessments of having students like reading a selection or or like recording like their reading, and then okay, yeah. So like the formal assessment is like have a student bring up the materials, and then you find a quiet place together, and you have like the student perform the reading, and you record the reading. And so at the end, you allow the student to listen to themselves read, so then they can like reflect on their own errors and things that they can improve on. And it also gives us as the teacher an opportunity to like analyze their progression in the reading and have like a further understanding of what they may need to work on. And this is also like a very difficult skill that takes time to develop, so that's also important to keep in mind. And so in assessing like the reading process, there are like informal reading inventories where you take like uh, like the use of like miscue analysis and errors. You can gain specific information, and you can include like formulas to help determine like the students reading like the 3 levels, which goes through their independent word recognition, instructional, and of course like the frustration levels. And we also have like running records where we have like the shorthanded transcripts of students' oral reading development, and this helps like create like an evaluation of the text difficulty, the grouping of students, and the improvement of the students as they progress, and of course like allowing for differentiation to address like individual student needs and observing like their specific difficulties. And so like it's all about just encouraging educators to be more efficient in their listening, analyzing, and coding. Going back to that formal assessment where we record their reading and being able to identify it, and it also helps like the students to identify their own strengths and weaknesses and where they can improve. And portfolio assessments are very helpful to garner data on like the progression of your students, collecting like samples of their work, and then being able to like share this in like the conferences with them so that they're able to reflect on their own work as well, and just like requiring students to document, evaluate, and discuss their own progress. Any conversation like this is very beneficial for like the reflection of the students, and encourages them to like take greater responsibility in their own learning. And that's like what the whole goal of everything, to me, I believe, is like developing our students becoming strong, independent learners. And that's it.